Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to master your main. Because with Season 16 we did see a bunch of changes. There were buffs, there were nerfs, there was the class rework, and some people did swap their main and they might be in a little bit of a lull period and they're not sure where to go. But don't worry, because we're going to be breaking it down and helping you guys out. But just quickly, if you're here, it's very clear you want to get better at Apex. And if that's the case, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have the most highly informative guides possible made by top level players like yours truly. I've been to Predator, I've solo queued the Masters, I've been to ALGS finals, I have hundreds of hours of scrim experience, and with all of that I gained a lot of information and knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys over there. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to become a demon today. But okay, with that covered and out of the way, I want to just make one thing very clear. Mastering your main is not an overnight thing. It's not something that you're going to pick up and just automatically be good at. It takes time, it takes dedication, but with these tips it will kind of smooth the transition and make it a little bit easier to streamline the process. So let's talk about tip number 1 now, and that is going to be play them. Now I know some people are going to say, well, yeah, no, duh, but trust me, I hear this a lot. I will ask somebody who their main is. Who do you guys play in Apex? And I hear this response. Well, this is my pubs main and this is my ranked main. And no, you have one main. You play one character day in, day out. If you truly want to master a character in Apex, then you cannot be playing different ones constantly. You can't say like, yeah, well, for ranked, I like to play Watson, but I don't like playing Watson in pubs, so I play Octane instead. No, that's not how things go. If you want to become a Watson main and get better at Watson and truly master Watson, you have to play her in pubs too. And it goes beyond that as well, because you got to play them in LTMs, you got to play them TDMs. Maybe if arenas comes back for some reason, you play them in arenas too. That is how you master them, playing them constantly. So I get that some people don't have that issue, but I really wanted to go over this and talk about it because I'm willing to bet at least one person that's watching this is going through this situation. And for you, stop it. But okay, now let's talk about tip number 2. And this is kind of going off the same thing for tip number 1, but it's to throw yourself at situations. Now I want to make this very clear. This is more for pubs and LTMs and just stuff like that. This is not for ranked. This is stuff that you do during those times to bring into ranked. In ranked, it's not worth the risk. But by throwing yourself at situations that you've never been in before, you start to build more knowledge and become a better player. If you're always putting yourself in situations that you feel comfortable in and that you understand, you're never going to understand how to do the uncomfortable situations, and if it happens in ranked, you won't know what to do and you will panic. But if you take the time in pubs where there's no downside of it, you only get a positive out of it. Even if you die, you lose the game, you still gained information. And throwing yourself in these things makes you a better main at your legend because you understand their limitations. You know where they're good, you know where they're bad, and you know what they can do in those bad spots. And if you guys want an example about this, just look at me. I have thousands of games played of Apex, but I have a very low win percentage when it comes to pubs, because when I'm playing them, I don't go for wins, I go for experience. I throw myself at stuff. I want to get into those uncomfortable spots to become a better player. And that has helped me in multiple situations, including ranked and tournaments and high level plays and scrims and stuff like that. There's a reason that you see a lot of these really good players not sit in buildings in pubs and they just throw themselves at stuff, because that helps them become even better of a player. This is one of the biggest factors when it comes to mastering your main, because it gives you so much information, and information is key when mastering a character. But information is a good segue into tip number 3, and this is going to be to consume content on them. Now, if you really want to become a master at your main, you got to be using every single tool at your disposal, and Twitch, YouTube, stuff like that, it's a very good tool to have. You really want to start to look at high level players and understand how they use your main in their situations and their games and how they squeeze every single little bit out of them. Now, it is going to be a little bit tougher to find somebody that mains your character if they're not that meta, but every single legend does have somebody that will main them that you can learn from. And if you can't find somebody that mains your character that's a higher rank than you are or is a very high level player, I will be very impressed. And if that does happen, message me on Discord because I will help you out personally. Now, I'm going to sound a little bit sellouty here, but trust me guys, I'm being 100% genuine when I say this. Twitch and and YouTube are good, but honestly, the best place to learn is the GameLeap website. We cover so many different situations with every single legend. It's the best place to grow as a player. And we even cover those high ranked players that I just mentioned you should watch and talk about their playstyles and break it down for you so you don't have to understand it on your own. Honestly, it's the best tool that you could use. But now let's jump into tip number 4 though, and this is going to be abuse the firing range. Every single legend in Apex has so many different niche situations that they could get into, and you have to understand how to use their abilities. You need to know distances, you need to know timers, you need to know a bunch of different stuff like that, and the firing range gives you a great place to learn all that stuff with less stress. And you can even bring in a friend or two to practice in the firing range with to really understand the limitations of it. Like if you're playing Pathfinder, you need to understand how his grapple works, you need to understand how his zipline works, and throwing them down in the firing range and just understanding and playing around with it helps you so much. You start to gain that information and knowledge and have it in the back of your mind always when you're in game. And doing it in those no stress environments like the firing range is just the perfect place to learn. Now I always do recommend that people warm up before playing Apex. You should always be in the firing range 10 to 15 minutes before hopping into a ranked game. So just play your main in the firing range, and while you're warming up on the dummies, just use their abilities. Fly around as Valkyrie, grapple around as Pathfinder, stim around as Octane. Do whatever you need to do to just kind of understand the abilities a little bit more and make you just that much better of a main. And now tip number 5, this is going to be going back into pubs and no filling. Now no fill is a little bit scary for some people, I do understand that, but trust me, it is the best tool to use as a person that wants to get better as a main. When you're no filling, you have no teammates, so you really have to understand your character and understand how they can help you out in a fight. That way you're using their utility more often, and you're using it to understand how you can be a better player. And once you understand how you can be a better player on your own, you can bring that into ranked and understand you can be a better player as a team. Now, like I said, I do understand no filling can be scary to a lot of people. It's something that is a very tough thing to really get yourself to do. So start off by playing no fill duos. 1v2 is a lot easier and a lot simpler for a lot of people. It helps you kind of ease yourself into things, it helps you kind of smooth the transition, and once you can really 1v2 a lot more efficiently, then start to do the 1v3s. And if you really understand no filling and really are able to 1v3 effectively, once you hop into ranked, you'll find yourself being an absolute demon. You'll be running people down left, right, and center. There's a reason that a lot of high level players do no fill trios for this specific reason. It's to help them become a better main, and when they do this, then they go into ranked, they feel so much better because it feels a lot easier. The game is essentially just on easy mode once you can really no fill effectively. And I do also want to point one thing out very quickly for some people that are in a very specific situation. If you have one other person that you play with constantly, you're a duo but you don't have a third, you guys can still duo trios. Just select the no fill option while you guys are in a party and go into trios down one person. This will help both of you master your characters and set you guys up a lot better when you're no filling. This will allow you to understand both of your characters a lot better and less rely on teammates when you are actually in ranked and don't have a set third. This is something that helped me out a lot as well, and I do highly recommend it to help you and your teammate understand your characters a lot better and become a lot better in the long run. But let me know your favorite tip on mastering a legend in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.